Religion is not a profession, nor is it suitable to be a profession, and there is no position in Islam called man of religion. The set of rituals and rites that a Muslim performs can become routine, repeated, devoid of feeling, and thus have nothing to do with religion. We do not have an outfit called Islamic clothing. The robe, trousers, turban, and beard are customs and traditions shared by Muslims, Buddhists, Zoroastrians, Druze, disco singers, and hippies. Their beards are longer. And having your name be Muhammad, Ali, or Uthman is not enough to make you a Muslim. Your religion on your ID card is also just a word, and the prayer beads, mumbling, humming, and the signs of dervishes and the chants of sheikhs are sometimes performed more skillfully by actors than by their owners. And the banners, signs, incense burners, and religious groups sometimes hide behind them political conspiracy, cunning, and seditions or revolutions that have no connection to religion. So what is religion then? Religion is a state of the heart, a feeling, an inner sensation of the unseen, a vague yet intensely clear realization that there is a hidden, wise, dominant power managing everything, a complete, compelling feeling that there is a supreme being and that there is no escape for the oppressor, no getting away for the criminal, and that you are free and responsible, not born in vain, nor living aimlessly, and that your death is not your end, but will carry you to an unknown, unseen, just as you came from an unseen, and existence continues. This feeling begets awe, piety, and restraint, and pushes one to self-reflection, motivating its possessor to create something of value from his life and shape from himself a higher existence, every moment mindful of the day he will meet that great king, the owner of sovereignty. This renewed existential crisis, this creative suffering, and the constant feeling of a presence, ongoing from before birth until after death, and the sense of responsibility, and the feeling of wisdom, beauty, order, and seriousness in everything, this is the truth of religion. Rituals and acts of obedience come afterwards as witnesses to this state of the heart, but the state of the heart is the foundation. It is the essence, core, and substance of religion. The Quran was revealed to introduce this great king, the King of Kings, by his beautiful names and attributes, his actions and signs, and his oneness. And Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, came to give the example and the model to establish the matter and complete the word. But the feeling of the unseen remains the spirit of worship and the essence of rulings and laws. Without it, prayer and almsgiving mean nothing. Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, gave the example and model of the complete Muslim, as well as the example for Islamic governance and Islamic societies. But Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and his companions were Muslims within the polytheistic society of Quraysh. The environment and climate of disbelief did not prevent any of them from being complete Muslims. The believer should call to faith, but it does not harm him if no one listens, nor does it harm him if those around him disbelieve. He can be a believer in any system and in any environment, because faith is a state of the heart, and religion is a feeling, not appearances. The sighted person can see even if all those present are blind, for sight is a faculty unaffected by the blindness of others, just as the feeling of the unseen is a possession unaffected by the heedlessness of the heedless, even if they are many. Rather, their multitude will be an increase in its scale on the day of reckoning. The crux of the matter of religion and religiosity is the state of the heart, what occupies the heart, what revolves in the mind, what the ambition is attached to what love dominates the feelings, to which side the inclination leans in the decisive moment. Those are the indicators that will point to religion or its absence, and they are more indicative than formal prayer. Even remembrance of Allah is greater implies that remembrance is greater than prayer, highlighting the importance of prayer. Therefore, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said to his companions about Abu Bakr, "He does not surpass you with fasting or prayer, but with something that's settled in his heart. And by this thing that's settled in each of our hearts, we will be distinguished on the day of resurrection more than we are distinguished by prayers or fasting."
Prayer becomes prayer because of this thing in the heart. Prayer gains its utmost importance from its ability to purify the heart, gather resolve, mobilize thought, and concentrate feelings. Sufficient it is that prayer opens this inner eye and widens this inner river. It is the existential gathering with Allah that expresses religion more than any other action. It is the drawing of Islam that the body draws on the earth through prostration, bowing, humility, and supplication, saying, "Lord of the worlds," to his Prophet, and prostrate and draw near. And through the prostration of the heart, the deep inner meaning of religion is embodied, and the most secure connection is established between the servant and the Lord. This understanding of the divine will is not seen by the Muslim as a suspension of his freedom, but rather as an extension of it. For he has come to choose by his Lord, will by his Lord, plan by his Lord, and execute by his Lord. Allah is the trustee in all his deeds. Rather, he walks by him, breathes by him, hears by him, sees by him, and lives by him. And that is a tremendous power and an inexhaustible supply for the knowing servant. It almost reached the point where his hand is Allah's hand, his sight is his sight, his hearing is his hearing, and his will is his will. For the inner river of existence within him has expanded to the absolute. In this regard, Allah says in his Hadith Qudsi, "Neither my heaven nor my earth can contain me, but the heart of my believing servant can contain me." This existential ascent and continuous spiritual ascension is the true meaning of religion, and that is the migration to Allah as a striving, and you will surely meet your Lord, and we find no word other than striving to express this creative existential suffering and spiritual struggle ascending to Allah. This is religion, and it is far greater than being a profession, a job, an ID card, an institution, or an official uniform.